Morning, November 5th, 2019. We are in Visoko, the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. My name is Dr. Osmanagich, and around me is our team, our field geologist, Richrd Hoyle, our field archaeologist, Amna Agić, our field supervisor, Mustafa Bajić, and our volunteer supervisor, Marie-Sophie. Today is a very important day. I'm sorry. We have also Evelina with us. She will be doing measurements during the day. Today it's a very important day because it seems that we are making another discovery in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. Namely, yesterday our workers were clearing the road here, wanting to make another trail with the tables for the guests in our most beautiful park, Ravne 2. And they managed to discover this conglomerate rock behind us, and it seems for them that there was a cavity. They used a bulldozer, they removed some of the soil, as we can see, and they did discover indeed a cavity, a tunnel. As you're going to see later on, the tunnel is obviously made by intelligent hands, so we have a presence of work in a distant past. Today we're going to be doing the first prospection. We're going to be doing measurements several times just to make sure that as far as the safety and other standards are respected, and then we can freely move through the new network of tunnels. Now Richrd here was here yesterday when this discovery initially was made, so maybe his first impression.
So we are 300 metres south of the Ravne 3 tunnels, which is 200 metres west of the original Ravne tunnels entrance. So we've increased the lateral extent of the Ravne tunnel complex by a significant amount, taking us closer to the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. Now inside the tunnels, very similar to how we're finding at Ravne 3 and the Ravne tunnels, we have partially infilled chambers and passages. We have completely infilled passages and tunnels. We also have evidence of drywalls, which links the Ravne 3 tunnels and the original Ravne tunnels all together. There has been similar activity in this area. So we're looking at just a different section of an entire huge underground tunnel network system.
Thank you.
When it opens up, you can
Okay. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I will hand it over to Evelina, she said. Maybe, okay. Evelina, okreni se malo. Makar tebe da imam lice. Tako. You will go in. When you go in, maybe you turn just to take a photo of your face.
D'accord.
Okay, because they all... Yeah, but I couldn't see the face of anyone except you and Evelina. Okay, yes, that's fine. Okay. One more time, please. Thank you, perfect.
Go inside.
Okay. Šta sad? Kako ćemo mi?
Velka, vamo je druga.
So we have to make sure that this tape isn't caught.
Mjerimo tu na tako da ne povučemo. Marie-Sophie, are you here? Okay. You know.
See you. See you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye
See
bye.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hvala puno. Hvala puno.
Ja ću samo malo. Samo ću malo.
Can we have the tape? Yeah, okay. Hand of the tape. Aris. Yeah. You stuck?
Yeah.
You need to go in the front for film.
Yep.
Here we are in Ravne 4 tunnels. It's November 5th. We are approximately 20 to 22 meters deep into the cavity. The cavity has been made by intelligent hands. It's very obvious, and we've been meeting a lot of fill-in material. So it's the same scenario that we have already found in Ravne and the Ravne 3 tunnels. Now, so far we can see a lot of side tunnels, majority of them being filled all the way to the top. This was our second stop for measurements, and these are the values. So Evelina, please help me.
Okay.
Values.
Temperature 11.6 degrees.
And outside was
Outside was 17.
now 11.6 degrees, which is coming very close to the average temperatures in Ravne and Ravne 3 tunnels.
Okay, negative ions here inside 4,000, outside 1,800.
So now we can see the increase in negative ion concentration.
The positive 3,500.
Now the positive closely follow the concentration of negative ions, which is the same case in the Ravne tunnels.
Yeah. Oxygen the same, 20.9%.
Yeah, we can see that we can breathe real good.
Normally. No electromagnetic radiation, life energy.
No electromagnetic, meaning no bad EM
electromagnetic.
smoke, no bad electromagnetism, which is produced by the, satellite dishes or mobile phone signals, things of that nature.
No poison gases,
So no poisonous gases.
nothing. Life energy very high.
Now, life energy is measured by the special instrument called the experimental life meter,
This one.
which basically gives the relative the ratios of the life or organ energy. We know that the concentration of life energy is lower in contaminated cities. It is higher in the villages, especially by the rivers or the mountains. And the values here are almost the same like the values in the Ravne tunnels, meaning this is an excellent place as far as the energy level for humans. So reaching what, like 30%?
Yeah, 30%.
Is the same value we have on our egg-shaped block, 70 meters inside the Ravne tunnels.
Nuclear radiation here 9 CPM, outside 29.
So obviously this place is protected as far as the radioactivity. Even though the values outside are still below the minimum, values here are much lower, meaning that this place organized either through certain electromagnetism or somehow it organizes that this place is completely protected from any form of the bad radioactivity.
Okay, now magnetic field.
Magnetic
45.
field 45 to 50, which is basically the same value as the outside.
Ultrasound 19 to 21
Yes,
kilohertz.
that's just a regular ultrasound frequency you can get.
And infrasound.
Infrasound 0 to 20.
55.
So there is some activities, meaning here the place is very suitable for both relaxation and for the living activities. So the values are very good. I'm happy that, especially from a safety standpoint of view, we can navigate through tunnels without any problems. And the first impression is that this is all part of the same network that we have in this area of Visoko, and it obviously runs for tens and tens of kilometers.
Hi, so we're deep inside what we're calling the Ravne floor tunnels here in Visoko, Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. We're about 30 meters deep now, and already at this point we've found some side passages that have been blocked up, partially emptied as well. We've found evidence of drywalls. Just in front of me here, we're at an intersection where we have at least 2 side passages perpendicular to the main passage that we're in right now. Both of them have been filled up with loose rubble, just as we find in the Ravne tunnels and the Ravne 3 tunnels. So essentially we're looking at the same network of tunnels constructed by the same people for the same purpose. This is the furthest south we've reached in the tunnel network. So we're about 300 meters south of the Ravne 3 tunnels, and the Ravne 3 tunnels are 200 meters west from the Ravne tunnels. So we are heading in the right direction towards the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun from a subterranean access point of view. So over the next few months, and indeed next excavation season, when we invite volunteers to help us, the job that we will be focused on here is emptying out the passages, just to see the full extent of this section of the tunnels. And just like we found over 3,000 pieces of archaeological material, artifacts in the Ravne 3 tunnels, we hope to find a similar rich archaeological evidence here inside the Ravne 4 tunnels as well. So after this we will go a bit deeper and see what else we can find.
Išli su dalje od ove vode. Onda sam ja došla na bliznik, kako je nis čul kad sam izvala.
Ja to tako rekao.
And we are
Koju prati?
ipak su možda trebalo one čizme što ih htjela auto.
Bila.
Ovo ovdje je porušeno nekako. Vidiš, ovo ovdje sve to jako meri, da je bilo nešto malo organizovanije, to su razbacali to kamenje. Možda je bilo zapravo i ovo ovdje zatvoreno, su kopali će mokli ga vamo. Što je nekako je tu kultura.
Ima jako lijepi. Prirodni drvi, što preklade su obrađeni.
Čekaj da iskam i vas troje.
Ajde. A mi smo tebi najpreći. Jel vi?
Do you see any pottery or anything on there?
No.
Ovdje. Dobro. Ovdje. Okej. Sljedeća mjerenja.
Još uvijek ima skakavaca.
Je li ovo znači?
Okay, now we are deep in Ravne 4 tunnels, most probably 60 meters from the entrance. We are going to do precise measurements a little bit later. Now this is the final point that we were able to come to. As you can see behind me there is a tunnel that continues, but it is filled with the filler material. And behind me it's like a half radius basin, and that would be the end on this side. But what really gives me great pleasure is that a lot of side tunnels, as we are moving through this tunnel, let's call it main tunnel at this point, we are seeing a lot of tunnels to the left and to the right, and they've been filled up with the material, meaning we have the same scenario like in the Ravne tunnels, but in the future we will have more options to move into the direction that we want to. Of course, moving into the southern direction is the most strategically most important for us, because south and southeast and eventually east will take us under the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. The average height here is about 180 centimeters to 1 meter. However, the tunnel which is behind me is a little bit higher, probably around 120 centimeters, which is good. And once we remove the material which is below us on the ground, from 10 to 30 centimeters, I hope that in the future we should be able to move much easier than what we were able to today. We've done a series of several energy measurements here. When it comes to the temperature is at 11.7 degrees Celsius, which is basically the same like the 12 degrees Celsius in Ravne tunnels. The values for the radioactivity, very good, very, very low, much lower than the minimum allowed. The values for the EM smoke, we don't have electromagnetic smoke here, so it's ideally protected place. The values for the magnetic field, also very stable, 45 to 50 nanotesla. The values for ultrasound and infrasound, almost identical like at the point before. When it comes to infrasound, about 50% of the time there is no signal, meaning ideal place to keep calm, to relax, to meditate. And the rest of it from 0 to 20 hertz, you can do some activities. So I would suspect mostly spiritual in nature, like certain spiritual activities, sessions, and so on. In all, I would say the place is very safe. When it comes to the gases, we don't have any poisonous gases. The level of oxygen is very good. A little bit lower though than at the beginning. At the beginning 20.9, this is 20.4, which is all at the excellent level, considering the fact that the tunnels are blocked here. Still, we don't have the presence of CO2 or any other poisonous gases, meaning that we should be able to work normally when the season starts here in 2020. I would say this is probably one of the crown discoveries here in 2019, and in the best way. We are completing this year, which was very, very exciting, and I think many more exciting stuff in front of us in the year 2020 and beyond.
Thank you. Our field geologist, Richrd.
So the Ravne 4 tunnels, exactly the same situation as the Ravne 3 tunnels and the original Ravne tunnels. We have a small passageway cutting through a conglomerate rock, and the floor of those tunnels is in the contact boundary with the Miocene marls below. Just behind me, round the corner, is a fabulous drywall, which hopefully we'll be able to take a look at when we leave the passage. Right now, at this point, we can estimate we have tens of kilometres of passages if we take into consideration how many side passages we have, all the way from the Ravne tunnels to the Ravne 3 tunnels to now the Ravne 4 tunnels. So it's a huge tunnel network. Now, a lot of the critics of this project claim that these passages are a mine, but you have to take into consideration a mine is looking for minerals of economic value, and inside this conglomerate around us there is just mostly sedimentary rocks, so sandstone, limestones. It has no economic value whatsoever, and the route of these passages make no sense in a systematic exploratory survey. So the purpose of these tunnels, absolutely not searching for minerals. We have to look outside the box and try and understand why these tunnels were made and the huge effort needed to create these tunnels, because we've been working on this project emptying the passages since 2006, and still tens of kilometers of passages are completely blocked. So it took an enormous amount of work to create these tunnels, and hopefully we'll get some answers soon.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now in Ravne 4 tunnels. We discovered these tunnels yesterday, and we are now at 60 meters approximately deep. My opinion as an archaeologist, my first opinion was when I saw all of these passages and tunnels and drywalls, I reconfirmed actually our theory that there was human activity in the past. So also we noticed some animal bones on the surface. So probably all of these facts will confirm our theories.
Hello, so here we are inside the new discovering Ravne 4. So today is my first exploration inside. As could say my colleagues, we can find some activities here, human activities. So we can see a lot of drywalls, and the shape of the tunnels look really handmade. It's very exciting to be a part of this exploration team, and that is very good news for next year. That means we will have a lot to do and a lot to explore for find what could be this tunnel and who was living there. So yeah, very important discoveries, and yeah, welcome for new volunteer to participate to excavate this new part. Welcome.
We'll add it at the end.
Okay.
There is 30 meters, so we'll need
So you and Marie-Sophie will handle the tape, right?
Yes, I have received instructions.
30 metri.
Okay.
Od ulaza.
Ma ne, tančka je 30 metri. 30 metara, da.
Marie-Sophie, when you have the end of the tape, wait for us.
Yes.
We have to
Kad
pass the
stane tu
end
treba
to her.
čekati, znaš.
Yes,
And
and then continue from this point to the exit. Or maybe...
Jel mi sad čekamo da
Someone.
Okay, I'm moving on slowly to the exit. Wait.
Fino je duboko. Znamo što sad ja nisam doveo.
Da vidi kako je stanje.
Danas ide. Our first prospection of the Ravne 4 tunnels is coming to the end, November 5th, 2019. Our, I would say, crown discovery of the season when it comes to underground tunnels. This new tunnel, after the precise measurements, it has a section, an open section, which is 63 meters long. Interestingly enough, when we discovered Ravne 3 tunnels, there was one section which was open in a length of 65 meters. Now, is this a coincidence, or somebody purposely made those two sections more than 60 meters long? We don't know. Hopefully we're going to find that in the future. The thing that is really amazing is the great number of the side tunnels. This is a huge network. At the beginning of this cavity there is like a big gallery, and once we remove the soil and the filler material, we're going to have a much clearer picture in the summer season of 2020. And I would use this opportunity to invite all the potential volunteers, professionals and non-professionals, to join us for 2020 volunteer season. I would invite researchers to come and join us in trying to explain this huge mystery on the planet. And of course, I would invite all the good intentional people, visitors, to come and see miracle after miracle here in Visoko, in the heart of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. Thank you very much.